Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss about the rules and triggers what we use in our forms, okay, in the transactions, okay. Let me show you how to implement the rules and triggers in the forms, okay. Let me log in with my credentials. Okay, when I log in with my credentials, I'll just go to one form. Let me go to sales order form. I am selecting from the quick search. Okay, I'll just select sales order form. Okay, in this form I'll let you know what I have implemented. Okay, I have a document number, date, customer name, customer PO number and customer PO date. Also I have a raise pro forma, I have a customer type, and I have a export license number. Okay, here I am applying a rule stating that if my customer equals to export, okay, then my export license number should be mandatory to enter. Okay, if it is my local customer, then my export license number should become read only. Okay, this is how we apply the rule. Okay, to implement the rule you need to go to the settings. Okay, click here on the right hand side, click on settings. Okay, you have to create the rule. To create the rule, on the right hand side you click here and you have rules component. In this rules component, just click here. Now how to create the rule name? To create the rule name, you have to just give the rule name. I'm just giving test rule. Okay, after giving this rule name, you have to click on setting, apply on, edit, evaluation on, load, leave, okay, on, enter. Then you have to activate this rule. After activating this rule, you have to give the condition. Okay, you have to give the if condition as well as else condition. When you give if condition, what is your query? Okay, you need to just select the field name, what you want to do it. Okay, I have applied one rule. I'll just show you. Okay, this is my export rule. Here what I did is in the header I have a field called customer type. Okay, that customer type I have created as a string field. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, this is my customer type. Okay, here what I did is I have selected this field as a string field. The default value I have set it as a local and export customer. Okay, by default it will be a local customer and the second option will be export customer. Whenever I select as a export customer, I have to enter my export license number, which is mandatory. Okay, this is one field I created, and I have created one field called raise pro forma. Okay, this I have created for raising a trigger. First I will show you how to create a rule, then I will show you how to create a trigger also. Okay, so you have to create the fields with a string list, then update and close. Okay, this you can go and check here in the form. Here you have customer type, local and as well as export. Now I go to the settings, then I go to the rules. In rule I have given the rule name. I have activated the settings, apply on, new record, edit, load, on leave and on enter. Then here I have to activate the status as active. Okay, now what I did is I have applied if my customer type. Okay, here I have all the conditions. I have selected is, because it's a string list, I have selected is present. Okay, value equals to local. So whatever the values I have defined in the string list, it will display here. So if it is local only, then my condition is export license number. Here I made it as mandatory false. If it is local, make that field as mandatory as false, and then I made that field disable as true. Okay, this is the if condition. Now again in the else condition, I selected the same field. Here mandatory I made it as true and disable as false. So I have reversed it. Okay, if and else conditions. After giving this, you have to save the rule. Okay, when you save the rule, here you will get a message, rule saved successfully. Okay, after getting this message, you can go and check your rule here. Okay, now this is your rule. Once this rule is displayed, you can update it. Okay, and close. Just relog in into the company with your credentials. Once you are logged in, go to the sales order form. Okay, I'll just click on new. Okay, here I am selecting customer account. Okay, customer B. Here I am giving some PO number. Okay, this is the date. Okay, I can select the date. Okay, raise proforma. This I will show you how to use in triggers. By default I made it as no. Okay, here I am selecting my item. Okay, I am selecting my item. Okay, quantity and rate. In case if I select my customer type as export, you see here the export license field is disabled. I cannot enter anything. If I select this as local, then press tab. Now you see this field is opened and it has marked as mandatory. Whatever the mandatory fields are there, you see on the left hand side, here it is marked as red. Okay, so now the rule is applied here. Now I can enter my export license number. Okay, this is how you can create the rules. Like this you can create many rules. Okay, once the rules are created, now you can use these rules. Okay, for the customer type equals to local as well as export. Now in the new form, if my customer type is local, now you see it has become read only. That means the rule is working perfectly fine. So this is how you have to implement the rules. Okay, now I am going to show you how to raise a trigger. Trigger means like it's the same thing like how you applied the rule. The trigger is something like which fires. Trigger means it's a firing. That means we are firing something using this sales order. My requirement is if I raise a sales order based on this status, raise proforma status. Okay, my requirement is if I want to collect any payment from my customer, okay, my customer will ask me the proforma invoice to process the payment. Okay, for that I need to submit a proforma invoice. Okay, for such cases I will select as S. Whenever I select as S and I save this, automatically a proforma invoice will be raised. Okay, now I have not implemented the trigger. I'll just save it. Okay, and I'll show you the proforma invoice. Okay, I don't have a proforma invoice form. Now I am going to create one proforma invoice form. That proforma invoice I will raise through a trigger. Once the form is implemented, I will raise through a trigger. Let me check whether the form is available or not. I go into document customization. I just select here proforma invoice. So it is not there. Okay, now I am going to create using the sales order. Okay, here I have already two new documents which I can use this also. I have this. Okay, I am going to change this as a proforma invoice. Okay, now I am going to load the required fields here. Okay, I go into settings again, configure transactions, document customization. I search for proforma invoice. Now you see I have a proforma invoice here. Okay, now I want to raise this invoice using trigger. Okay, let me go to the proforma invoice from here. Okay, I can search the proforma invoice. Here you see I have the customer account. I have raised proforma yes or no. So I need other fields also. So I can copy this using my sales order template. I go to edit layout. Okay, here I have load fields. Okay, I select sales order. Here I have all the fields. I have raise proforma and narration. Except these two fields, I will select everything. Okay. When I click OK, all the fields will be copied here. Now I can arrange these fields. Okay, like this. Now I want this PO number to be on the top, PO date again next to the PO number. Now I have a raise proforma invoice. Before that I want the customer type. Okay. Okay, this is how I arrange the fields. I just update it. I close. Okay, now I will go to the proforma invoice again. I'll check for all the fields are inserted or not. Okay, here now I will raise a trigger. Okay, whenever I save any voucher through sales order using the field raise proforma yes or no, I will raise a proforma invoice. Now how to implement that? I go to sales order, sales orders. In this I go to settings. In settings again I go on the right hand side, I click here. I have triggers. Okay, this option you have to click. When you click on this option, again here also you need to give the trigger name. I am just giving fire proforma, or I just give my trigger name as fire proforma. Okay, here my trigger criteria. Okay, I have to give my trigger criteria where, okay, I'll select my field name raise. Okay, here I have my field raise proforma. Okay, equals to, okay, I can select equals to value yes. Okay, I am just giving my condition, my raise proforma field value equals to yes. Now what it has to do, here I have action options. I can raise a document, I can suspend a document, or on authorization this action to be performed. What I do is I will select a raise document. When I click on raise document, here you see it is asking me to raise a document. Which document you want to raise? Here you have to select proforma invoice. Okay, here I select a proforma invoice. Now it is asking me what fields have to be fired from the base document to the target document. Here I will select my document number, date, customer account, my customer type, then I have my export license number, then I have one more field. It is, I can check here also, document number, date, customer account, customer type, export license number. PO number, PO date, okay, raise pro forma invoice. Okay, these are all fields I have to map. Here I have item name, okay, quantity, rate, gross. Okay, these are all fields from base document to the target document, which is my pro forma invoice. So I will map from field to field. Like this I can map it. Okay, make sure the fields are available in the both the documents whichever you are mapping, otherwise the trigger will not get fired. Like this you have to map all the fields. Okay, now I have mapped all the fields. Okay, here you have an option, once this trigger is filed you can send email also. This I am going to cover in the next upcoming videos. Let me cover this trigger session first, then I will save this. Okay, once this trigger is saved you can go and check whether the trigger is saved or not. Okay, fine, equal to value. Okay, here it is defined as yes. Okay, save. Let me check the value again. Now you have to check whether the field, what is the field defined there. Okay, the raise pro forma. Okay, raise pro forma, it is defined as string field. Okay, string list. Okay, what we have used in string list for the rule, the same thing we have to use in trigger also, is present. Okay, I go to settings, again I go to the trigger option. I am just editing the same trigger where raise pro forma is present. No, is present is not there. Equals to value. Okay, yes, save trigger, update, close. Okay, let me save the invoice now. I just re-log in and save the invoice. I go to the sales order, I'll go to voucher number 2. Here I am saying raise pro forma as yes. That means this particular sales order should fire a trigger. I just save it. Okay, after saving, I'll go to the pro forma invoice now. Now you see the trigger is fired. Now that voucher has fired a trigger. Now you see all the contents are copied. This is how you use the trigger. Okay, let me save the other voucher, sales order number 1. Here it is marked as no. Let me save. Okay, I close this. Again I will check my pro forma invoice. Now you see the trigger is not raised. So this is how the triggers will work. So I have shown you how to implement the rules, how to implement the triggers. Okay, this is how you have to do the implementation. If you like my video, please subscribe. Thank you very much.